what do you remember? January 31st, 2010. I remember where I was. You get the word that Flames have traded PHANEUF, and then it's, well, where and for what? Did you sense that a PHANEUF deal was coming?
No, I wasn't paying much attention to the game at the time, to be quite honest with you. I was recently retired and more pissed off about hockey than anything. So I remember hearing about it, but I certainly hadn't heard rumblings in the community or amongst friends and ex-teammates that there was a imminent Dion PHANEUF trade about to happen.
Because you knew what Dion was.
It was out of left field.
Yeah, he's a confident kid, and he's, maybe that.
Well, it was also Daryl's.
Yeah, he's your boy,
baby, right? Yeah. He's the only kid that has ever come in under Daryl Sutter and been handed 20-some minutes a night, and praised and actually, I remember being in Colorado once, Dion's rookie year, and he's the only guy that plays. It was almost like this is completely opposite of what Daryl's usually preaching.
Yeah. And you knew there would have been some friction. He's a guy that he was conducive to rubbing people the wrong way potentially, but you just thought they'll find a way to work this out. So then blam, he's gone, goes to Toronto, not long before he's wearing the C. They're very excited in Toronto. They're not very excited in Calgary. So almost on two fronts, like, well, I guess they're not going to miss me in Toronto, and they aren't super jacked to get me in Calgary. Walk us through, because it was kind of the late night, early morning trade, because I know Calgary played the night before, and then it was kind of a Sunday morning it all came out.
Yeah, both the trade was done Saturday from now what I've heard, but both teams had games. They had to, I guess the trade was, they just had to get through that game. And I just remember we played Vancouver, and we lost in overtime, and then we had the day off on the Sunday. So I just remember being at home. My wife was making pancakes. I was sitting on the couch. I don't know what we did the night before. We didn't have kids at the time. So, and then your phone starts buzzing, you get and then I think my mom was texting me like, something's going down with your team, and
mom's on.
Oh yeah. My mom's super diehard. Yeah. She's all about that. But you just hear everything. But then I got a call from Ian White, saying, well, my agent also texted me, but they also represent Dion. So something was going down, and then Ian White called me and was like, yeah, I just got traded. He's like, I'm like, where? He's like, I can't, they wouldn't tell me who, and they didn't tell me, they just told me I'm going to Calgary, and they didn't say who I was going with, but they said there's other players. So I was like, okay, it's, I'm not going. Like, I haven't got a call. Yeah. So that
sucks, man.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
So, and then, but honestly, like, it probably was like 5-10 minutes later. It might have even been when I was on the phone. I think I had a call, a beep, like a call waiting, and it was Berkey. It was Leafs GM. He called me first and said the exact same thing. You're traded to Calgary. It's a 7-player deal. You're not going alone. I can't share details who else is going. Just thank you for your services and best of luck. Right. It's
that's what it is.
That's right? What it is. It's because, everybody just wants to rip the Band-Aid off and move on. So, and that was it. And then I think it was like an hour later, Daryl called me and just, welcome. We're happy to have you. There's a plane coming to get you in 3 hours. Be on it. We play tomorrow night. I think that was it. So literally we had to figure out, packing from home's fine. You pack whatever you can, but we had to go downtown to the arena to get our stuff because our equipment was all there. And so I remember going to the rink and grabbing the stuff. You say bye to the trainers. And then I remember running into Berkey there just in the parking garage. We just happened to, and he was awesome. He's like, Stage, I didn't want to do this. And it's just part of the game. You'll understand as you go along. I'm like, nope, I get it. So you say bye to everybody and right to the airport. And Ken King was there. He came and picked us up.
I was going to say, because they did send a plane, right?
They sent a plane because we played the next night. So they wanted to get us in right away. So Ken King came in and picked the 4 of us up. We couldn't fit all our stuff on the plane, so our equipment went on. There's 4 of us. There's Jamal.
Nick Hagman,
Yeah, Jamal and Nick Hagman. And we landed here. It was dark when we landed here. And I remember we had to get our physicals. So right away we were at the hotel and we were staying at the International. They put us at the International back then. Man, was it dry in that place. But yeah, we did our physicals that night and Daryl was talking to us. And then I'm like, Matt, you're playing tomorrow. And we hadn't met anybody yet. Like I had a phone call from Jerome and that's pretty much it. Until you get to know everybody. So next morning you have morning skate and then you play. We played Philadelphia the next night. So it was a whirlwind experience, and it was just kind of weird because you don't get to say bye to anybody. Like that was my hometown. Like that was home for me. And I'm like, hey, this is
hours.
It was literally hours gone, and I couldn't imagine having kids at the time if that happens. Like that.
You did have a wife though.
I did have a wife and she was working and she was a teacher. So it was a little bit of that. So yeah, I came and there was an all-star break coming up a week later. So we did get to kind of reset. But our all-star break was supposed to be in Bahamas. So it was like a long flight from here. but
that's a hard goodbye. Everything's in your head.
Yes.
But honey, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
And you leave her all alone and you're off.
And we had
fans don't think of that necessarily.
And we had just moved into the house we built in Toronto. We were in it for maybe 2 months.
Kiss of death, buddy.
Yeah, no, I know. And then we were gone. It's crazy. And then you're staying here and it was a weird dressing room dynamic when I came to Calgary. Like for a team that I was like, it's been on the cusp. It was just a weird dynamic in the room. Like I guess the team had lost 10 in a row and they made changes they want. And that wasn't the only trade they made. They brought in, who was it? Kodalik and Higgins as well for, I don't even know who
it was. Jokinen and Prust from New York.
So like it was weird. So we played that morning. Ole was still here. It was a Monday morning.
Because that was weird too.
That was really weird. So we're having more skate. Ole's on the ice. And then after that, there's like rumblings in the dressing room. We're the new guys. And it's like, yeah, Ole's traded this and that. And then we have a game that night. So it was like,
yes,
it was just a weird vibe, weird situation. But then after the All-Star break, you get settled in and it was good. Actually, it was Olympic break that year. So it was actually a longer break. So it wasn't bad, but we had lost Damon Lankow, who was second line or the first line center. I would say he was the first line center and I was second. And then you had Connie. So you have these guys injured, you trade Ole and then Lankow goes down. So we had an uphill battle when you really look at it, but Hagman and Whitey were so good in Toronto. Like they were like quality players and we all struggled, and Jammer too, but Jammer played well I remember him coming in. He played well. Him and Nystrom went on that run at the end of the season, but me, Hagman and Whitey, we just couldn't find our footing.
It's a different role for Jamal Mayers than it is for you guys. Because you guys, you're going to bring the offense. You're skill guys.
True.
Mayers is a character guy, playing the fourth row crash bank. Yeah. Easier to play your game.
Yeah.
And the measuring stick's a little easier, I think, for him.
Oh, definitely. So, yeah. Looking even later in my career when I was a fourth line guy, like you just make sure you do your job and you're not relied on to score. But yeah, we just I didn't even think I played terribly down the stretch, but I wasn't like, the next year was the really tough year for me.
Yeah.
But we just didn't make it. And then, but Hagman was so good in Toronto when he came here, and I talked to him about he just couldn't find a role on the team. Like he was a good player. He was putting up 30 goals. I know he's getting more opportunity there, but he was still getting opportunity here. So it was just weird. Like, I think everybody looks at it one for one, me for Dion, but like there's other pieces that were solid NHLers that it just didn't work out. So that's what happened. It just kind of went that way. So unfortunately it was a tough start, but I think anybody gets traded mid-season and gets thrown in like that. And I was excited to play with Iggy, and I'm a passer and he's a shooter, but we had some success at times, but it wasn't like what everybody thought. And I wasn't a legitimate number one center. Like, that's the honest truth. I was always a 2-3 guy, more of a penalty killer. Even in Toronto, that was my role. I never was a offensive guy, but all that pressure came on to me because I re-signed here and people thought that's what I should have been.